I don't know if I can remember a time that there was a decision so hated among fans than the Jets hiring Adam Gase. On one hand, I get it. When you're about to make a coaching change, you kind of get excited about maybe you'll get Bruce Arians or one of the Harbaughs. However, I don't think Adam Gase is as bad as people are making him out to be. I think he's proven that he's a pretty good offensive mind, and I'll show you what I mean with this play. This is when Gase was the offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears. Right now, they're facing a 3rd and 3, and teams love to run cover 1 holes on 3rd and 3, and that's exactly what the Packers are doing here. The best way to beat a cover 1 hole is with deep sideline routes, and that's exactly the play that Chicago ran on this one. They also have a receiver running a crossing route towards the middle of the screen, so if it was a cover 2 man, for example, then he could get easily open. A lot of coaches on a 3rd and 3 are just trying to get the first down, so they might send one go route deep just in case, and then send a lot of receivers just have do quick slants. However, I thought it was smart to have both receivers run go routes on the sidelines. As you see, Cutler is first looking to Jeffrey, however, he's getting covered up pretty well. So instead, Cutler's going to move over and throw to the receiver on the top half of the screen. Now the coverage still ended up being pretty good, and Cutler misses the throw, so it's incomplete, but this was the perfect play call for this situation. Gase correctly guessed what kind of play the Packers were going to be running, and picked a play that has a high chance of working against that play. People like to be reactionary and say, well, it didn't work, so it must have been a bad play call. However, if this did work, it would have been a first down and goal, if not a touchdown. So it was the right call from Gase, it just didn't work out. One thing that I think it's fair to say, even if you're a Gase hater, you have to like about him is his creativity in play calling. He's a guy who's going to mix things up, and this one's a good example. As you see, this is actually going to be a pick play. However, instead of running a pick play to try to get a receiver open in the middle of the screen, they're going to run a pick play to try to get a receiver open towards the sideline. One potential problem with that is a linebacker could drop back into coverage and get in a play. However, Chicago is going to be running play action here. This is now going to completely clear out the top half of the screen, and along with that, give Cutler a little bit extra time, which he might need, since this isn't a standard pick play where it's in the middle of the screen where he could make a quick throw. It's instead a different one where it's going to take a little bit longer to develop. However, it works out perfectly, and they're able to pick up a big gain. Once again, this wasn't even really a great throw from Cutler, but it was a really good job by Gase, and it's what led to a big gain. Some people might say, well, there's a big difference between being a good offensive coordinator and a good head coach. And I agree with that. However, his creative play calls didn't end when he was an offensive coordinator. This play is going to start off with Miami faking a handoff to the bottom half of the screen, and then they're going to have an actual handoff to a fullback to the top half of the screen. That is going to draw Oakland's linebackers to that top half of the screen. However, there's then going to be a second handoff to the bottom half of the screen. This is going to do a great job of clearing out that bottom half of the screen. Miami also sent the receiver to the top half of the screen, since the whole point of this play is to clear out the bottom half of the screen, and the Oakland Raider in charge of guarding him had to follow him in that direction. There's now really only one Raider in the area, and he's in kind of a tricky situation. If he runs the guard to halfback streaking down the sidelines, then it gives plenty of space up front for the guy who has the ball to simply just run forward. However, if he stays where he's at or moves forward, that gives Miami a chance to pick up a big gain. That's exactly what happens, and they were able to have a wide receiver throw for a touchdown. The creativity didn't end there for Miami. As you see on this play, Miami has 5 guys on their line making one-on-one blocks, which is going to leave 3 Raiders who can still make a play. They're going to send their left tackle and a tight end up to block 2 of those Raiders, however, there's still 1 left. You'd see a lot of teams just have their halfback run on this play and just hope he gets to the safety, which would pick up about 7 yards or so. However, Miami's going for a home run swing here. They're instead going to hand it off to a receiver who's in motion and have their halfback move up and lead block the last guy who's not getting blocked. This play works out perfectly and it ends up leading to a touchdown. And I know tricking the Raiders defense is kind of like tricking a toddler, however, it's still a good job of showing that Gase can get creative and can design good plays. He was initially brought to Miami with the hopes of turning Ryan Tannehill into a star, and since that didn't really happen, I think a lot of people sort of blame him for that. However, I don't think that's fair. As you see on this play, Buffalo's playing a cover 3 zone, and that's the route that Ryan Tannehill is going to throw to. And as you can tell, if you were to try to throw to that route, right around the middle of the route is really the only time that receiver would be open. This is the route really designed to beat cover 2, as there would be no safety in the middle of the screen like there is in a cover 3. As you see here, there's clearly 2 Bills that are back, so Tannehill should realize that it's a cover 3. He also couldn't throw the ball now, as there is a Bills linebacker in that area, so at this point he really can't throw it to that route. However, he's going to anyways, and it ends up getting intercepted. Tannehill did a pretty poor job on this play, and it's what led to an interception. You could argue that the fact that because Tannehill should have known better, there's actually a problem on the coaching staff. However, I don't think that would be totally fair, because at a certain point, your quarterback is going to have to make post-snap reads, and Tannehill was not able to make a post-snap read on display, and we'll have to see if Sam Darnold can do a better job of that. I'm not saying Gase is a slam dunk. Who knows if he's going to work or not? It's so hard to tell with these head coaching jobs. I mean, the general consensus when Tampa Bay got Lovie Smith was that he was going to work out perfectly, and a general consensus when the Eagles got Doug Peterson was that he was going to be a joke. I think it's just as silly to say Adam Gase is a good head coach as it is to say Adam Gase is a terrible head coach. He didn't exactly do wonders in Miami, but it wasn't exactly a perfect situation either. Will he be effective in New York? We'll really just have to wait and see.